Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a brand new feature in ChatGPT that's trying to do something really interesting. It wants to stop being just an answer machine and actually start being your personal tutor. So, let's see if it can pull it off.
Okay, if you're a student or really anyone trying to learn something, you have definitely felt this. You use AI, you get the right answer for your homework, and that's great, but did you actually learn anything? Did the concept really stick? This is the huge problem with what's called passive learning, where we just get information dumped on us without ever really wrestling with it.
And that brings us to the big idea for this whole explainer. I want you to think of it like this. Standard ChatGPT is like a gigantic library. I mean, it has every piece of information you could possibly want. But study mode, well, that's like having a personal tutor with you inside that library, pointing you to the right books, making sure you actually get what you're reading. And trust me, that one little shift changes absolutely everything.
So let's dive into that. What is the real difference here? What does it actually mean to have a tutor instead of just a giant silent library?
The key word here really is guidance. This isn't just about finding an answer. It's about a step-by-step journey where the AI is constantly checking in with you, asking, hey, does that make sense? And then actually changing its approach based on how you're doing. And that guidance is exactly what helps us move away from just passively getting answers and towards something that's way more powerful for our brains, active learning.
So what is active learning? Well, it's all about getting your hands dirty. It's the difference between, say, watching a video about how a car engine works versus actually trying to take one apart yourself. By making you participate in finding the solution, you're literally building stronger connections in your brain, which is really just a fancy way of saying you'll actually remember this stuff tomorrow.
Okay, so how does this AI tutor actually do its job? What's in its toolkit that helps it teach instead of just tell? Let's pop the hood and take a look. First up, it uses a really classic, really powerful teaching method called guided thinking. So instead of just blurting out the answer, study mode asks you these Socratic-style questions. They're little prompts designed to make you think critically and figure out the solution on your own. This doesn't just get you the answer to this problem, it actually makes you better at reasoning your way through the next one. Next, it uses a technique that educators love called content chunking. Come on, we've all been there, right? You're staring at some super dense chapter in a textbook and your brain just shuts down. It's overwhelming. Well, study mode avoids that by breaking down these huge topics into small, bite-sized pieces. It starts with the absolute basics, then slowly builds up, making sure you're solid on each concept before it adds the next layer.
But honestly, this right here might be the real game changer. Personalization. You can upload your own stuff, your class notes, PDFs of your textbooks, even a photo of a tricky math problem from your notebook. It will use your actual materials to teach you. And if you have the memory feature on, it can even remember your past chats to create examples that are perfectly tailored to the way you learn. It's pretty wild.
All right, enough theory. That all sounds great, but let's see how this tutor actually behaves in a real session. We're going to do a quick, rapid-fire demo to see it in action.
Okay, so let's say you're stuck on a pretty common algebra problem. You type in your question, asking for help.
And there it is. Did you see that? It didn't give you the answer. It came back with a question. It's nudging you to think about the process. It wants to guide you, not carry you.
Okay, let's switch gears completely. Now you've got a history test coming up and you need to review.
And just like that, boom, it instantly turns into your personal quiz partner. It can transform your study guide into an active practice session, which is one of the most effective ways you can possibly prep for an exam.
And you can probably see how this just explodes with possibilities. It's not just for math or history. You can have it build you dynamic flashcards on the fly, you can feed it a super long article and ask it to summarize the key points, or you can even practice for a presentation by having it pretend to be the audience and ask you tough questions. The potential here is just huge.
Now, it's really easy to get carried away with all the cool things this can do, but we have to ground ourselves in reality here. This AI tutor, like any tool, is not perfect. So let's talk about the limitations you absolutely need to be aware of. A few things are absolutely crucial to remember. First, it can be wrong. AI hallucinates, it makes mistakes, so always double-check important facts. Second, be mindful of privacy. Think twice before uploading sensitive personal notes. Third, the quality you get out is directly related to the quality you put in. Better prompts and materials will get you better guidance. And maybe most importantly, remember, this is a study companion. It's an incredible tool for sure, but it is not a replacement for a real human teacher.
One last little but important point before we wrap this up: who can actually use this? Well, the great news is that Study Mode is available to all ChatGPT users. Doesn't matter if you're on the free plan or a paid one, and it works on your computer and on your phone.
So after looking at how it works, what it can do, and what it can't do, it really all comes back to that very first idea we talked about.
The library of knowledge is bigger and more accessible than it has ever been. But just having information isn't the same as understanding. This tool offers a totally new way to navigate all that information, not by just giving you a map, but by teaching you how to read one for yourself. So the real question is, what are you going to do with it? Thanks for watching.